Hello, on behalf of the World Languages Department, welcome to the Sugarman World Languages Achievement Awards. My name is Tammy Black. I'm the World Languages Supervisor and I teach Spanish as well. We're excited to celebrate and recognize the academic achievements of our exceptional students. This year especially, our award recipients stand out not only for their language skills, but even more so for their contributions to our classrooms, as seen by their leadership, seriousness of purpose, honesty, cooperation, and commitment to others. This ceremony was created to honor our students that have demonstrated academic excellence, passion, leadership, and determination in their pursuit of language acquisition. The awards were named after Judy Sugarman to recognize her work in the district and as the first World Languages Supervisor at VHHS. She served the district for over 40 years as a teacher, supervisor, a school board member, and part of the District 128 Foundation for Learning. It has absolutely been a unique year for all of us. We would like to take a moment to thank Mrs. Kamen, our department admin assistant, for her caring and dedicated support of our world languages students and staff throughout the year. Our VHHS World Language Department staff is dedicated to providing our students with a strong language foundation and the cultural knowledge to explore the world beyond our walls. This year, our students have experienced language learning in unprecedented environments, and teachers have been asked to be more creative than ever. We would like to share with you what earning this award represents to our world languages staff. Students, you have earned this award because you
continually created connections to learning objectives,
helped others learning by sharing out perspectives, ideas, and worldwide tie-ins,
contributed to a positive learning environment by consistently sharing your enthusiasm for learning language,
demonstrated curiosity and used their language skills in every opportunity,
made sincere efforts to connect with others in our unique learning environment,
were not afraid to make mistakes and learn from them,
showed enthusiasm for learning languages,
reached out to other students when they needed encouragement or help,
made the decision to stay engaged and collaborate with your fellow students and teacher. And finally,
thank you, students, for persevering through the challenges of online learning and taking the additional initiative to reach out to others when you needed help.
thank you to all of our wonderful world languages staff. Today, you will hear 3 of our senior students about how their language study journey has impacted their lives as they are preparing for AP exams, finishing their final semester, and I'm pretty sure with a severe case of senioritis, they are prepared to share with us their undeniable passion for languages. They each have a unique and wonderful message to share with you. Our first senior speaker tonight comes from the Spanish program. Bienvenida, Tiana Arbutina.
Hello students, staff, and families. My name is Tiana Arbutina and I'm a senior here at Vernon Hills High School. I have taken Spanish all 4 years, but I first started learning Spanish in 7th grade. I decided to continue taking it in high school because it is the second most spoken language in the United States, and I wanted to be able to understand and communicate with those around me. When I first started learning the language, it was all vocabulary and grammar. I expected all 4 years of high school Spanish to be the same way. We might think of learning a language as learning words, basic roots, and grammar rules. Yet it is so much more. It is learning the history, the culture, and the values within a culture. I myself am not only a part of American culture, but I am also a part of Serbian culture. I have grown up immersed in Serbian traditions and values, but despite it being a fundamental part of who I am, I was always embarrassed to be Serbian as a child. I was made fun of for the food I brought to school and for how I dressed. I felt misunderstood and out of place causing me to push away all aspects of our culture. In doing so, I weakened the relationship I had with my family. I now see the emotional pain I'd inflicted on my parents by trying to be someone else for all those years. Taking Spanish has empowered me to embrace my culture for all of its unique aspects. One thing that all my Spanish teachers have emphasized was acceptance and understanding while we were learning about values, beliefs, food, clothing, and so much more. Especially this year in AP Spanish, I have learned a lot about various Native groups and their way of life. Some groups face difficulties being accepted into current society because of their values, and others have had a hard time acclimating because of their way of life, such as those who make artwork to keep traditions alive that have been passed down through many generations. Despite these difficulties, not a single group that we have discussed in class has abandoned their traditions to please others or to be accepted by society. Their stories have shown me the importance of loyalty, family, perseverance, and trust. Studying Spanish has given me the opportunity to recognize and appreciate these values within my own family and the Serbian culture. Looking back at it now, I would tell my younger self to be more accepting of who I was, because at the end of the day, being different is beautiful, and it has made me so much more understanding in such a diverse world. I'm glad I was able to repair my connection with the Serbian culture because it has helped me find myself and establish the relationships that I had lost. I never expected that learning a language could have such a big impact on my identity and sense of belonging. Yet I am glad that it has, because it has allowed me to be more understanding and accepting of myself and those who are different than I am. There has been no better feeling than being able to apply what my Spanish classes have taught me to the real world. When I visited the neighborhood of Pilsen for a Spanish 4 field trip, it was wonderful hearing the tour guide explain the bright murals and the history behind them, rather than just reading one-sentence descriptions off of Google. Being able to walk around Pilsen afterwards with the history fresh in our minds, I had the opportunity to take a moment and appreciate the food in the local restaurants and take in the artwork that was beautifully displayed on the walls, such as the Frida Kahlo mural. I've enjoyed every minute of being able to experience firsthand the content that we have been taught in class, as well as having the opportunity to understand and communicate with those speaking Spanish around me. I encourage everyone to study a language because it is so much more than just grammar and vocab. It is an enlightening journey into a beautiful culture that will provide you with a better understanding of the world around you. Thank you.
Gracias, Tiana. That was beautiful. We appreciate your words tonight. And we're going to continue our ceremony with awards presentation from Senora Bastiani.
For Spanish 1, Amelia Bell. Sam Glazer, Adarsh Jale, Nandini Kandamuri, Kaylee Kim, Taylor Quarter, Ilana Krager, Samantha McCraney, Abby Pector, Kaden Sara, Serafin Santos, God's Promise Yahuka, Nathan Wu. For Spanish 3 honors, Mackenzie Barberis, Nandini Barreau, Naya Bass, Amelie Bladea, Grant Bossler, Valerie Bikova, Sophie Cottle, Joanne Doe, Emma Fricano, Daniel Giangiorgi, Noah Greenstein, Vetri Jagannath, Laura Kim, Rudra Kukian, Adarsh Rayabandi, Lucas Scott, Alexandra Smolyanaya, Iris Tom, Helen Tur, Anna Voichin, Madeline Wing, and Kevin Yee. And now for Profe Black.
In Spanish 1, Agatha Balaga, Brandon Edelheit, Nikki Finato, Jeremiah Hernandez, Josh Kapoor, Nitya Mehta, Nick Miles, Ariana Reyes, Sophia Rose, Alana Rosenblum, Nikita Stepanov, Catherine Yoon, and Byung Yoon Yu. All right, time for senior acoustic.
For AP Spanish, Emma Anderson, Bradley Ah, Eliana Bernat, Ella Bohm, Philip Donev, Raul Gupta, Emma Janeska, Elizabeth Kalika, Julia Kempf, Jackie Liu, Dylan Lucem, Samantha Reinstein, Ashley Sawa, Catherine Sear, and Cassandra Woolard. For Spanish 2, Sarthak Agrawal, Mo Arraiz, Claire Dornbush, Emily Dornbush, Sebastian Dudek, Claire Fleming, Kaylee Gold, Brandon Caraca, Lydia Kessel, Skylar Loiben, Kyle Manivasagam, Nasar Nablawi, Emma O'Flaherty, Caleb Park, Nitay Patel, Jenna Poslins, Ashi Shah, Stellan Simiakis, Martina Switchkowski, Anna Todd. Leah Varghese, Rain Wiener, Campbell Woolard, Margaret Zwick.
Our next senior speaker is a French student. Bienvenue, Tanya Stoiva.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Comment vas-tu ce soir? My name is Tanya Stoiva, and tonight I'll be presenting my experience with the Vernon Hills High School French language class. 7.8 billion people, 6,500 languages, 195 countries. Language is a valuable skill that either separates us or brings us together. It can either be a barrier or a bridge. As a barrier, language prevents any communication from getting around. However, you can build your own bridge of any language, one that connects you to alternative ethnicities all around the world. Language is an astonishing opportunity to access a rich culture and distinct atmosphere. It is a shared commonality between groups of similar and dissimilar origin. The beautiful part is, you don't have to be from that specific origin you want to surround yourself in. You can learn any language you would like to be able to connect to others, not only through language, but also through culture. I first began French as a freshman due to the love for French cuisine and the aspiration to travel to France. I soon learned that there's more than just baguettes and fromage there. There's escargot, croque monsieur, the bouffe bourguignon, and more appetizing courses. In class, I remember preparing crepes, savoring fromage, and enjoying regional French meals. In addition to the delicious dishes, we also spent a great time on the French language and culture itself. The movies we watched in class played a huge role in how I grasped onto the French culture. The French accents, the greetings, the physical gestures all form an entirely separate atmosphere than the one I'm used to here in America. With French being my fourth language, I can state that every language truly carries its own independent ambiance. Well, sometimes. It's kind of funny. In Bulgarian, instead of saying благодаря for thank you, we say merci for short. And that's how I got so good at pronouncing that word. One of my favorite French movies, Cyrano, starred a character named Cyrano. And the funny thing is, his name sounds very similar to the Bulgarian word for feta cheese, Cyrano. Also, I have found it way easier to conjugate because I have known how to do that with Bulgarian my whole life. The conjugations tu, vu, and nu in French were quite similar to the tia, via, inia in Bulgarian. So although these two languages are completely different, there are the smallest similarities when you familiarize yourself with both. Anyway, the alluring flow of the French language was another reason I was hoping to become fluent. After watching multiple European League soccer games, I was tired of not being able to understand what the French coach was yelling. I wanted to understand the words, not be stopped by the barrier of frustration because I couldn't understand the language. I wanted the words to just flow into my brain so I could make sense of them. So that's when I joined French. However, I didn't really believe I would use French here in Chicago. I was just learning it for the aesthetic. Sure enough, the summer of my sophomore year, I was able to test my French speaking skills. At the time, I was working as a cash register at Target. Two ladies came up to pay for their groceries after I finished scanning. $23.57, I told them. The confusion in their eyes told me they did not speak English. One said, sorry, in a thick French accent before turning to the other and saying, qu'a-t-il dit? It was at that moment I recognized I could use my 1.5 years of French in this situation. 23.57, s'il vous plaît. You see, no matter where you go, you will always meet people of different backgrounds. By expanding your language capability, you are eliminating that barrier that poses potential division and miscommunication. Language is a way to bring people closer together, to celebrate the similar cuisine, expressions, and culture all around. I have attained an exceptional level of French mastery, and am shocked at my own progress. My reward after 4 years of French is a valuable key, one that unlocks the door to la culture française. So with that in mind, I truly suggest everyone gets at least one key to access another world language with. Merci beaucoup.
Bravo, Tanya. Merci. And now, most appropriately, we're going to continue our words with our French classes and Madame Hoffman.
For French 1, Nedra Anand, Haley Diaz, Alessandra Dominguez, Stephen Dong, Haley Kalinowski, Anastasia Kravchenko, Divya Mudimbi, Ashley Rokas, Fritz Truckenbrot, Caitlin Valenzuela, and Irene Yu. Alexandra Barden, Rima Bereshnaya, Jenna Brandt, Sophie Chutrakun, Brady Clegg, Nivedita Iyengar, Chris Coe, Francesca Kraus-Hines, Sarah Lee, Lucia Monconil Miguel, Shreya Praveen, Raquel Ruiz, Rebecca Tran, Anna Ziegler, Lilith Zartler. For French 3 honors, Emma Altschul, Oscar Yedinek, Grace Lee, Caitlin Lee. For AP French, Ahmed Abdelhamed, Sean Airline, Tanya Stoiva, and Elizabeth Thompson. And now, Senior Hayden.
For Spanish 1, Kenan Chung, Holly Faich, Ruth Harrison, Isabella Janik, Aishini Kochar, Caitlin Pollison, Holden Smith, and Nicole Tomaszewski. For Spanish 3 honors, Ellen Amjadi, Sahidi Garamella, Haley Jacobson, Sarah Kaczynski, Amanda Rakers, Vincent Rodke, Brandon Smith, and Kate Williams. Next up is Hare Kurth.
For German 1, Jonathan Aguilar, Lindsay Udila, Nathan Klemstein, Rhea Narasimhan, Arnav Nir, and Kristen Rockers. For German 2 honors, Jack Gagamoff and Preston Wright. For German 3 honors, Caitlin Delmonico, Marcelo Gauss-Enning, Daniel Kang, Caitlin Loic, Allison Klemstein, Navitita Senthilkumar. For German AP, Chae-Young Lee, Hannah Liu, Magdalena Zuchek. And now, Senora Naylor.
For Spanish 3 honors, Karen Kai, Lenore Greenberg, Drena Hill, Adam Jablonski, Brooke Kading, Noah Kim, Abby Peterson, Lawrence Zhang, Josh Kalinowski, Lucas Kuden, Abby Lehrman, Ben Miller, Tyler Park, Shayna Weinstein, Lexi Sarmiento, Evan Shao, Kandar Vadia, Jacob Slavish. For Spanish 4 honors, Sophie Bernheim, Tanishka Gajula, Devin Milcrone, Andrew Tikhonov, Annika Urbanis, Evan Zuro. Katie Goldstone, Ruby Gonzalez, Fernando Lopez, and Melody Thiem.
Magdalena Zuchek will be our final senior speaker tonight, representing our German program. Willkommen, Magdalena.
Buenos dias, guten tag, dobrý den. Hello, everyone. I'm Magdalena Zuchek. I'm 18 years old, and I've been a part of the VHHS World Languages program all 4 years of high school, involved with both Spanish and German. As some of you might know, both my parents and my brother are from the Czech Republic, and I was the first family member born in the United States. So when I was growing up, I learned English and Czech at the same time. So I used this additional language knowledge as a stepping stone to actually learn even more languages in my lifetime. The main thing was that my brother had actually studied French and German at VHHS, and he excelled quite a bit. So I essentially wanted to follow in his footsteps, or moreover, actually attempt to be better than him, as siblings do. So that's why I chose German as well, but I continued with my Spanish learning from middle school. While his language path influenced my initial start, my traveling and my sport commitments actually were important factors as well. I am a US team member for the national karate team, so I represent the United States all over the world in countries like Bolivia, Argentina, as well as Italy and Portugal. Especially in Spanish-speaking countries, I felt very comfortable, but it wasn't always because of my knowledge of Spanish. Funny enough, when I went to Cancun, Mexico in 2018 for a karate tournament, my first fighting match was against an Austrian girl, and they speak German. And I was about a year and a half into my German studies. I couldn't really hear my coach because of the loud crowds and his really raspy voice, but oddly enough, I could hear the Austrian coach. I heard, "Geh nach links und du solltest aggressiver sein," or "go left and be a little bit more aggressive." I couldn't really believe that I was understanding pretty well, but I took that as an advantage. I just stopped trying to listen to my coach, and I strategically stayed by the other coach and picked up on what he was saying and took what he was advising my opponent and did what I needed to do against that advice. Oh yeah, and you know how far that got me? I won the match by not listening to my own coach. Now, I'm not saying that every time I've had a fighting match, I just gave up on listening to my own coach. But this was a time where I thought it was clever and almost funny that I was relying on my foreign language knowledge and understanding to help me in something that was so natural to me, my own fighting. Now, languages have helped me in so much more than just my sports. Like I said before, even just traveling and leisure in general. When traveling to South American countries, it was helpful just to show an attempt at speaking Spanish, like when ordering food or just translating for my own parents. The native speakers see your sense of attempt and even passion to respect their culture and language, and they really appreciate that. When it comes to traveling or flying to Europe, that's why I choose to fly Lufthansa. It's a German airline. I take pride in stepping onto that plane and whipping out a little of my German with a native accent. It was funny when I just decided to say Guten Tag and asked for a little bit of water in German, and the flight attendants completely stopped talking to me in English. I was a German to them. Now, I don't blame them because a little bit of my lighter hair and my original European roots, I get it. Even this year, I was able to prove my German skills a little bit with my German national exam. I took the national test and then I was invited to participate in an interview panel. After a smooth and impressive performance, I was chosen by Northern Illinois to move to the national level. After some time of the national committee evaluating the different candidates, I was notified of my results of the competition, and that validated my continuous efforts in my language study. I won the full scholarship for the summer German immersion program. Now, my teacher was very proud of me, and I just felt so much joy when he congratulated me afterwards and said, "You might just be a bit better than your brother was when he was your age, but don't tell him that." Now, even if that wasn't true, I don't care. I still hear it on repeat in my head because a younger sibling always strives to be better than their older sibling, right? I mean, nothing's been more true in my life. Now, it's understandable that learning a language is not an easy thing. Every language is complicated in its own way, but that's the beauty of learning them because not everyone can and knows how to. I see my language journey as something so special and so helpful, and I want to continue with this into college and into my careers, which is why I want to go into international business and strive for more international opportunities and just leisure travel. I don't think many people can say that learning a language changed their life or influenced them, but I'm more than proud to say that languages have transformed me. Even with 4 languages under my belt at the moment, I will never stop my language journey because it truly is what I love. Thank you.
Danke, Magdalena. Sehr gut. We will continue the awards now with the classes of Senora Raciak.
Okay, for Spanish 3 honors, Tim Arcentiev, Anika Deshpande, Amanda Handoko, Shinbi Lee, Victoria Lukian, Tanish Sharma. Ariel Schifrin, Hita Sura, David Wang, Jacob Wang, and Peter Zhang. For Spanish 2, Charlie Blackmer, Gibran Bakri, Jordan Dye, Katie Favor, Olivia Graham, Peyton Runfelt, Emma Hoffman, Sashank Kura, Lynn Nee, Jenna Sala. Ben Schgap, Bradley Schwartz, Ruhi Submaranian, Bithi Talukder, Morgan Udvance, Trey Whitener, Jose Zabaleta de Lopez, and Edward Zhao. Next, we have Senora Sierra.
For Spanish for Heritage Speakers Honors, Orlando Ala Sandoval, Natalia Robles, Xavier Sosa. For Spanish for Honors, Anirudh Aziraju, Anokia Mara, Bethany Bomer, Chloe Bodie, Jeffrey Brahms, Jason Frega, Elise Lichtenstein, Sofia Sanchez, Marisela Uribe. For Spanish AP, Vanessa Almazan, Diana Arbutina, Alyssa Choi, Jessica Gitzinger, Hayden Graham, Emily Jones, Nicole Zaktakovsky, Emma Zhang, and Magdalena Suchek. And now, Senor Wilson.
For Spanish 2, Sahil Alavi, Jana Badawi, Sarah Besser, Jocelyn Bettarelli, Elise Davis, Braden Glassman, Hari Jun, Sean Kalu, Shristi Karwa, Brian Kim. Grace Kepke, Colette Kopstein, Anna Lee, Daniel Levering, Leon Levin, Ava Lukian, Neil Modi Deshmukh, Jaden Parker, Anna Puchetti, Shruti Rosario, Mitchell Saunders, Tyler Singer, Mia Starkey, Apsara Bimalaraja, Ashley Vollen, Brett Uter, Eric Zong. And for Spanish 4 honors, Alex Chin, Riley Donaldson, Kayla Dosmegan, Paige Edelheit, Avery Kamai, Sophie Labelle, Dasha Lukinova, Shrikar Manikonda, Zoe McCullough, Megan Piagentini, and Aditya Sabarwal. And now Profe Black will end with some closing remarks.
Congratulations to all of our student winners. And thank you to our world language staff for sharing your love of languages with our Vernon Hills community. Looking back at our World Languages Week celebration, remember to open your mind to languages. You gain so much more than words as you learn about the culture and people that speak that language. As Colin Seal said, there is tremendous empathy to be gained from learning why someone sees something different than you do. Continue on your path towards becoming a global citizen. I encourage you to explore our world and get to know the beautiful people with whom we share it. As always, my wish for all of you is to study abroad, work abroad, live abroad, and truly experience our global home, and then come back and tell us about it. We will always want to hear and know about your adventures in our world. Thank you for celebrating with us. I wish you all success as you end this school year and in your future language endeavors. Take care. Ciao.